Hello, we're back again today, part 3 of our installment of casting or recasting Alfred Hitchcock films. Today it's North by Northwest, 1959, absolute masterpiece in my opinion. I know it's one of Brian and Doc's favorites as well.
Yeah.
What can you say? This is like premier filmmaking. We're going to cast, 3 roles today? Cary Grant.
3.
Eva Marie Saint, and James Mason. And we'll tell you a little bit about it. It's mainly a case of mistaken identity. It's where it starts. You got a spy thriller, you got femme fatales, you got great locations, you got just memorable scenes, whether it be on the train in Grand Central Station, the cornfield with the crop duster coming down, all these Mount Rushmore itself. It's romantic. You got great villains. You've got comedic touches as well. I mean, it has everything. It's got the suave, debonair leading man. Just everything you can want in a film is in North by Northwest. So, Brian, Doc, what do you think of this baby here? How hard was it or easy was it for you to cast?
Doc, what do you got?
Well, this was the hardest probably for me. Not to take anything away from Jimmy here, because I think Jimmy Stewart's fantastic and stuff, but casting out Cary Grant, man, is a different neighborhood, I think, too, in one sense. So, but this is another movie where even like the female leads got more of a lead, like a little bit more action, a little bit more screen time, I think, that's relevant to the movie in some senses.
Yeah.
James Mason's character is, like we're gonna come up with 3 names to play James Mason's character, and nobody's replacing James Mason. Nobody's replacing, Cary Grant, but nobody's replacing James Mason, man. This guy knocked it out of the park here, man. This was fantastic. What a great role.
Yeah.
Great actor anyway, right? So very tough, challenging. I think, like I mentioned to you guys off screen, this was one of the harder ones for me, and especially at that character spot there for James. I thought that was one of the harder ones to fill.
Absolutely. The 3, again, I just want to reiterate, 3 characters. Cary Grant, who's playing Roger Thornhill, and New York City ad executive who's mistakenly identified as a government agent by these foreign spies. He's framed for a murder. He manages to escape on a train bound for Chicago. He meets a beautiful blonde along the way who's played by Eva Marie Saint. Her character is Eve Kendall. Sexy, mysterious, little femme fatale action. She may not be who we all think she is. And then eventually James Mason's character comes into play. Philip Van Dam, a real suave and sophisticated villain himself. He's dressed up in a suit and tie. He looks like, not real threatening and so forth, but we'll find out later what's going on there. So, Brian, you're going to go first. You can cast your 3 and then we'll pass it around.
All right. So, Rich mentioned that it's one of my favorites. It actually, if we just say favorite movies of all time and not films of all time, I'd give this my favorite movie of all time. Hands down. Film of all time probably would go to The Godfather because of all the elements that are involved, but this is my favorite movie. And Cary Grant, he's a hard dude to replace. So but I love it. And this is the most fun to do, and kind of a little twist on mine once we get to the 2 main roles. So I'll go with Philip Van Dam first. I said, okay, sophisticated evil, and a couple names came to mind, but ultimately I settled on Tom Hiddleston. Everybody's going to know him. He's the guy who plays Loki in all the MCU films. Tom's got that look about him where he can look like he's a prim and proper dude. Comes across very charming and likable, but absolutely will stab you in the back the first chance he gets. That's just that's type of characters he can play, and I thought he would be perfect for this role. Going on to Eve Kendall, this is where it got kind of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, they're kind of a couple in the film. There's all sorts of back and forth and things like that. I didn't even realize that I had actually done it until I wrote down a couple names on the girl, and then looked up at the guy that had already casted. And I didn't realize I had casted actually the couple from Mad Men, because I picked John Hamm to replace Cary Grant. I thought he would be perfect for it. and I picked January Jones to play Eva Marie Saint's
No way.
character,
That's good.
Eve Kendall. So I thought, wow. I said I kind of casted them separately, but then when I looked up, I go, okay, you know what? I think it fits. I think, they've already proven they can be an on-screen couple, and I'd love to see John Hamm play a Cary Grant role. I think he would be absolutely perfect for it.
Yeah.
Just got that kind of humor, lovable sex appeal that all the women love, and he's not afraid to make fun of himself, and which is a big thing when you're doing kind of a comedy type stuff mixed in with drama and stuff. You got to be able to laugh at yourself a little bit, and put yourself out there. So I thought John would be perfect for it.
I like both of them.
Very good.
All three of them. January Jones, I can see her playing that character too. Although I've never seen her in anything except Mad Men. I don't know what kind of range she has, but the look of her on the train with the John Hamm character would work for sure.
Yeah.
Very
Very
good
cool.
pick, Brian. I like him.
Yeah.
That hand pick is pretty cool. I like that actually.
Yeah, I
So,
do too.
Yeah. Man, you're right about James Mason. You described the character fantastic, Brian. We were talking about it, right? Sophisticated evil.
Yep.
I like your pick on Hiddleston there too, buddy. So I had a really, really tough time. I mentioned to you guys before. This one's really tough. So I had like 3-4 names written down at one time and crossed off, and I decided, who is that sophisticated evil dude? I went with Mad Mikkelsen. I think Mikkelsen is the guy, like, your Casino Royale or something like that. Or yeah, he could be debonair. He could be a little swashbuckling himself. He could definitely, dress the part, play the part, but he's got that evil side to him too. And he's pretty methodical and, ruthless.
Yeah.
And then we see that in a few characters of his over time. He's a great actor too. So I went with Mads Mikkelsen there for James's role. Eva Marie Saint. Jeez. How do you do that, man? So don't know what movie it was we had before, but I went with Scarlett Johansson here. So
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of hers in one sense, but she can act. So I'll say this, she's pretty talented. What she sometimes I find her a little repetitive, I'd say, on some of her character builds and stuff like that. But if she somebody who can act like Kim Novak's character in this movie, Kim Novak, Eva, in this movie, then I'd say yeah, she is, man, because she can be like, it's manipulative. It's there's other parts to this character, the undertones. And she's done some pretty serious roles in the past too. So I think she could probably pull it off, and definitely got the look that you're looking for in a movie like this too. If you're in a Hitchcock flick, you want something that's not hard on the eyes to go through 2 hours plus. So
That's right.
Scarlett fits the bill on a few levels there. And I think, but pulling the character off on the, selling something that may or may not be true to your audience is what she's doing. And I think she can do it. So Cary Grant's a tough one, brother. So everything you said, Brian, debonair, swashbuckling, handsome looking dude, comedic, the whole 9 yards, and can laugh at himself and laugh at everybody else while he's doing it and still deliver the lines, and a little bit of an action hero, the whole 9 yards. I got George Clooney, man.
I had him down.
You guys are killing
Good
me.
pick. Good pick.
It's the only one I wrote down. So I had Clooney going in all in for all those reasons. I don't listen. I think your pick there is really cool, Brian. But I couldn't see anybody playing Cary except George. I think he fits the Hollywood bang on Cary Grant of today, in my eyes. But that's why I put him there, buddy. It's a good pick. I don't know.
That was the other one I had. That's the one my wife said I should have picked.
So that was your other pick, eh?
Yeah, that was the other pick, right? So I'm just glad when you said Scarlett Johansson, I go, he's not going to pick Bill Murray as Cary Grant, is he?
Yes, I just fell in love with Lost in Translation in the
I
last
was just
24
teasing
hours.
because I know you're just a big fan of Lost in Translation, but
Unbelievable. All right, here we go. The James Mason character, Brian has the tagline here, sophisticated evil. I'm going to say it again because it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
I went with Gary Oldman. I can see
yeah.
Gary Oldman, just hiding behind the mask and not giving you all his cards and all that kind of stuff. And who can play a villain better than him? Not many.
Not many.
Yet he can still look normal at times in certain roles. What roles am I thinking of? Well, he played in the movie called The Contender. JFK, he plays Lee Harvey Oswald. Darkest Hour, he plays Winston Churchill. There's a spy movie called Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He's in that.
He was in a professional. He was fantastic in a professional.
The Professional. He can play an evil guy. He played the Mank in that Joseph Mankiewicz movie. So he's very versatile. He can do it all. And that's who I'm picking for my Philip Van Damme. The Eva Marie Saint character, I went with Charlize Theron in this role. I can see her being so beguiling and so much eye candy on that train that no man could resist her. And she's got the chops to play anything from Monster, where she plays the serial killer, to Bombshell, where she's playing Megyn Kelly, a beautiful woman. She can do it all. So I went with Charlize Theron. And in the lead role of Roger Thornhill, played by Cary Grant in the original, I went with, drum roll, please, George Clooney. Unbelievable. We did it again. It's written right there.
We would have been, think about how close we were to having a trifecta on this. Crazy.
It was one of the first roles I cast, like Doc said. I can see nobody else playing that lighthearted, mistaken identity. He has the comic deft touch when he needs it, and yet he can react to the things that are going on around him, in on the train, in the hotel rooms, different things. He's a sophisticated guy too, and he's able to get the hot chick on, by chance he falls for this woman on the train who's gorgeous, and there's a lot of stuff there. I love Clooney in a lot of his movies, considering things like Michael Clayton, The Descendants, Good Night and Good Luck, where he plays Murrow, the journalist. Ocean's 11, he plays a similar character where he's just suave kind of leader of a pack of guys, like a Sinatra type character. So I can see him in North by Northwest easily. And we could have easily had a trifecta there because Brian that was his number 2.
Yeah,
we were close.
That would have been freaky.
I didn't even have a backup. I went with him right out of the chute. I don't even have a number 2 on my list. So that's really weird. Because usually I write a bunch of guys down or women down for roles. And didn't do it on this one. So, very cool.
That's a good one.
Let's wrap up North by Northwest. I think we did well on that. Again, comments, like, subscribe, check out Brian's channel, Massey's Main Entertainment. Appreciate that. And give us your cast. We have 3 roles here: James Mason, Eva Marie Saint, Cary Grant. Who you picking? So until next time, we'll be back with Psycho and try to scare the bejesus out of you in our last film. Until then, for Doc and Brian, it's Rich. We'll see you. Take care. Bye.